I bet you didn't know that by the time you're 70 years old, your leg muscles have probably already shrunk by 40% from when you were younger. Leg sarcopenia is a devastating condition that robs the mobility of millions of seniors around the world. It affects more than 68 million older adults. Leg cramps caused by nutritional deficiencies send more than 250,000 elderly people to the hospital each year. Here we reach the shocking portion. The Journal of Clinical Nutrition reports on research that disproves the idea that such severe leg weakness is unavoidable. Some persons in their 80s have the leg strength, function, and even appearance of someone who is decades younger, whereas the majority of their age group has trouble doing even the most basic of tasks like climbing stairs or walking without pain. These people are able to maintain full mobility far into their 90s, and they frequently surpass others half their age on leg strength tests. They also keep hiking mountains and playing sports. Like and subscribe for more educational health videos like this one if you enjoyed it. What then is their trade secret? Well, 93% of seniors have no idea what nutrients can significantly delay or even reverse age-related leg muscle loss. But researchers at the Mayo Clinic have found them. Most doctors never tell their elderly patients about the most important nutrients that can help them regain lost leg strength well into their 70s and 80s. According to researchers at Harvard Medical School, what science has proven to be crucial for preserving leg strength as we age is actually contradicted by many doctors' recommendations. Keep reading because the first nutrient is likely something you're severely deficient in on a daily basis. This common deficiency is speeding up the process of leg muscle atrophy by activating genes that normally would not do so. Fixing this one nutrient deficiency could mean the difference between enjoying your golden years mobile and independent or needing a walker or wheelchair to get around. Get this video liked and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Before we start, also tell us in the comments where you're watching from. All right then, let's go right in. The seventh critical nutrient is magnesium. One of the most overlooked minerals that strong-legged 80-year-olds consume daily is magnesium. This powerful mineral is essential for more than 300 enzymatic reactions involved in muscle function, and more than 70% of the elderly population is severely deficient in it. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition published a study in 2022 that showed seniors whose magnesium levels were optimal had 35% stronger leg muscles and significantly higher walking speed than those whose magnesium levels were even slightly low. In addition to supplementing with magnesium in highly bioavailable forms like glycinate or threonate, leg-strong superagers usually eat foods that are rich in magnesium on a daily basis, such as dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and dark chocolate. Leg cramps at night are often the first warning sign of magnesium deficiency, yet most doctors miss this connection entirely. A groundbreaking study from the University of Michigan showed that 78% of seniors experiencing nighttime leg cramps saw complete resolution of symptoms within just 14 days of magnesium supplementation. The typical therapeutic dose ranged from 300 to 400 milligrams daily, taken with dinner to maximize overnight muscle recovery. The sixth nutrient is vitamin D3 with K2. Did you know that the so-called leg strength vitamin is lacking in more than 82% of the elderly population? The quiet killer of leg strength, vitamin D deficiency, is rampant among the elderly. Allow me to explain. Nourishing your bones isn't the only need for vitamin D. Scientists at Stanford University found that vitamin D activates the genes that are specifically involved in building and maintaining leg muscle tissue. In order to develop and maintain leg muscle mass, your cells contain vitamin D receptors that, when triggered, set in motion processes essential for leg strength. Surprisingly, a pioneering study in JAMA Internal Medicine indicated that elderly people whose vitamin D levels were excellent had 40% greater leg strength than those whose levels were inadequate. Additionally, they exhibited markedly improved reaction time, coordination, and balance when walking, all of which play an essential role in avoiding falls. Vitamin D deficiency is defined as levels below 20 nanograms per milliliter, while superagers who seem to walk without difficulty into their 90s nearly always have ideal levels above 50 nanograms per milliliter. Which vitamin D supplementation strategies work best? Although sun exposure is beneficial, it loses some of its efficacy as we get older. This is due to the fact that our skin's vitamin D production decreases by 70% from age 20 to 65 when exposed to sunshine. The typical daily requirement of 600 international units is woefully inadequate, but supplementation is necessary for the majority of seniors, although this should be customized based on blood testing. Research indicates that the majority of seniors require 2,000 to 5,000 international units per day to achieve appropriate levels. Include vitamin D-rich foods such as fatty fish, egg yolks, and fortified dairy with this, and try to get 15 to 20 minutes of direct midday sun exposure if you can. A word of caution: insufficient levels of vitamin K2, which is present in fermented foods and specific animal products, prevent calcium from reaching the arteries and instead promotes its use by the bones thanks to the synergistic effect of vitamin D. Arteries may become calcified if vitamin D supplementation is done at high doses without K2. This underappreciated yet crucial vitamin-nutrient interaction may be the deciding factor in your leg strength success. To find out how much vitamin D your body needs, consult your doctor for a blood test. Then, to keep your leg muscles from wasting away, try to keep your levels above 50 nanograms per milliliter. The fifth critical nutrient is protein with leucine. Although the amount of protein consumed is a major concern for seniors, studies suggest that the specific amino acid composition may be even more critical for leg strength. Scientists refer to the gradual decline in protein utilization that occurs with age as anabolic resistance. Research in the Journal of Nutrition indicated that, contrary to popular belief, seniors should focus on leucine-rich protein sources to overcome this resistance. This essential amino acid works as a metabolic trigger that flips the switch for muscle protein synthesis, specifically in leg muscles. Now we get to the important portion. A threshold of 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine is needed to activate leg muscle protein synthesis in seniors, compared to just 1.5 grams in younger adults. The majority of seniors make the mistake of eating protein sources too low in leucine, which means their leg muscles remain in a catabolic breakdown state despite adequate total protein intake. The best method to use: focus on leucine-rich protein sources like whey protein, 8% leucine by weight, cottage cheese, chicken breast, lean beef, and eggs. Plant-based seniors should combine legumes with rice to create complete protein profiles with higher leucine content. When compared to consuming the same quantity of lower leucine proteins, this targeted approach alone can enhance leg muscle protein synthesis by as much as 33%. In a 12-week study conducted by the University of Texas, participants who adhered to this method managed to grow an average of 1.8 pounds of leg muscle without altering any other aspect of their lifestyle. If you want your leg muscles to grow stronger or keep wasting away, it's not enough to simply eat protein. You need to ensure each meal contains sufficient leucine to cross the age-related threshold for muscle synthesis. The fourth critical nutrient is omega-3 fatty acids. Every day, what do really strong-legged elderly people have in common? Interestingly, their intake of omega-3 fatty acids is quite high across the board. Researchers have recently come to the conclusion that inflammaging, a term for chronic low-grade inflammation, is a key factor in the deterioration of leg muscle mass in the elderly. Leg muscle protein is broken down at a rate higher than the body's ability to replace it due to this quiet inflammatory process. But that's not all. Inflammation inhibits the anabolic signals that ordinarily promote leg muscle growth in response to exercise and protein intake. Unrelated to their protein consumption or exercise routines, seniors whose omega-3 intake was the highest maintained leg strength 3 times better than those whose levels were the lowest, according to a seminal study out of Tufts University. Omega-3 fatty acids work through multiple pathways to support leg strength. First, they directly reduce inflammatory cytokines that trigger leg muscle breakdown. The fatty acids EPA and DHA integrate into cell membranes, making them more fluid and responsive to anabolic signals. Secondly, omega-3s sensitize muscle tissue to the effects of amino acids and insulin, essentially making your existing protein intake work better for leg muscle maintenance. The diets of superagers include at least 2 to 3 grams of omega-3 fatty acids daily, primarily from fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines consumed 2 to 3 times weekly. For those who don't eat fish regularly, high-quality fish oil or algae-based supplements for vegetarians can provide similar benefits. A groundbreaking clinical trial published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition demonstrated that seniors who supplemented with 3.9 grams of EPA-DHA daily for just 6 months increased thigh muscle volume by 3.6% and strength by 6% compared to a placebo group that actually lost muscle during the same period, despite no changes in exercise habits. The third critical nutrient is vitamin B12, methylcobalamin. Although the majority of dietary recommendations center on macronutrients such as protein, carbohydrates, and fats, superagers who have remarkable leg strength pay close attention to B12, a particular micronutrient that aids in nerve-muscle communication and energy production. This vitamin serves as a critical facilitator for proper leg function. If you don't have adequate B12, no amount of protein or exercise will prevent you from experiencing leg weakness, tingling, and eventual loss of coordination. Because stomach acid production declines with age, our body's capacity to absorb B12 also declines with each passing year. Worse yet, proton pump inhibitors and metformin, two of the most widely used drugs among seniors, severely deplete this vital vitamin. Both neuronal function and the generation of energy by leg muscles are affected by a deficit. The active form of cobalamin, methylcobalamin, is usually supplemented by superagers instead of the cheaper cyanocobalamin that is present in most multivitamins. This methylated form crosses the blood-brain barrier more effectively and directly supports the nerves that control leg muscle function. The University of Oxford conducted research showing that seniors with optimal B12 levels demonstrated 28% better balance, coordination, and leg strength compared to those with borderline low levels, even when those levels weren't low enough to trigger a diagnosis of deficiency. Superagers typically supplement with 1,000 micrograms of methylcobalamin daily or receive monthly B12 injections to bypass the digestive system entirely. Within just 4 to 6 weeks of optimizing B12 levels, many seniors report dramatic improvements in leg strength, reduced cramping, and improved sensation in their feet and legs. The second critical nutrient is potassium. Here's an interesting fact that the majority of seniors are unaware of. When leg muscles cramp and weaken, it often has nothing to do with calcium and everything to do with potassium balance. Potassium is essential for proper muscle contraction and nerve signaling in the legs. When levels drop even slightly below optimal, muscle cells become hypersensitive, leading to the painful cramping that wakes many seniors at night. Even more concerning, this electrolyte imbalance causes gradual weakening of leg muscles over time as the body attempts to conserve potassium by reducing muscle activity. Extremely strong leg superagers, according to new research out of the University of Michigan, have far better potassium levels than the average senior. Even more thrilling, researchers have identified that most seniors are walking around with suboptimal potassium levels due to 4 common factors. First, many blood pressure medications, particularly diuretics, deplete potassium at an alarming rate. Second, low-carbohydrate diets, popular among weight-conscious seniors, cause substantial potassium loss through increased urination. Third, chronic stress elevates cortisol, which signals the kidneys to excrete more potassium. And fourth, modern diets provide far less potassium than our ancestors consumed, less than half in most cases. A landmark study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that seniors who maintained potassium levels in the upper range of normal had 41% fewer leg cramps and significantly greater leg strength than those with lower, though still technically normal levels. The difference in walking speed and stair climbing ability was remarkable. Superagers typically consume potassium-rich foods daily, including bananas, potatoes with skin, avocados, spinach, and coconut water. Some work with their physicians to safely supplement additional potassium, particularly if they're on medications known to deplete this critical electrolyte. The first and most critical nutrient is coenzyme Q10, CoQ10, the most crucial nutrient that distinguishes exceptionally strong-legged 80-year-olds from their counterparts is the one that experts at Tufts University deemed the most powerful anti-aging compound for leg muscles ever found. We have arrived at this nutrient, coenzyme Q10, but not in the manner that the majority of seniors supplement it. By maintaining optimal levels of this critical nutrient, the superagers, whose leg strength levels defy their real age, fight the biological processes of muscle fatigue and weakness. Most elders never learn this fundamental truth. Your leg muscles require enormous energy to function, and KOQ10 is essential for cellular energy production. With a crucial exception, after age 50, your body's natural production of CoQ10 drops by approximately 50%, and by age 70, it's often down by 65% or more. Research published in the Journal of Gerontology demonstrated that seniors with the highest CoQ10 levels had leg strength comparable to people 15 to 20 years younger. This nutrient works through multiple pathways. First, CoQ10 is essential for mitochondrial energy production, particularly in energy-hungry leg muscles that must support your body weight. Second, it acts as a powerful antioxidant, protecting muscle cells from oxidative damage. Third, it improves blood flow to leg tissues by enhancing nitric oxide production and endothelial function. How is the method used by superagers unique? To begin, the emphasis is on the form of CoQ10. They use the ubiquinol form, which is 8 times more bioavailable than the cheaper ubiquinone form found in most supplements. Second, they take CoQ10 with a source of fat to enhance absorption, as it's fat-soluble. Third, they typically take 200 to 300 milligrams daily, far more than the 50 to 100 milligrams found in most formulations. What therefore is the most typical blunder that retirees make? The problem is that many think leg weakness is simply an inevitable part of aging, never realizing that specific nutrient deficiencies are often the true cause. The real hazard lies in the fact that leg weakness leads to reduced activity, which in turn increases the risk of falls, fractures, and loss of independence. Get into the habit of optimizing these 7 critical nutrients if you want to maintain strong, cramp-free legs well into your 80s and beyond. If you want to make sure you're addressing your specific deficiencies correctly, see a functional medicine doctor for comprehensive testing. Achieving optimal levels of these 7 nutrients can have a profound impact on how quickly your legs age. Here they are, the 7 critical nutrients supported by research that account for the remarkable leg strength that some 80-year-olds maintain. Magnesium, vitamin D3 with K2, leucine-rich protein, omega-3 fatty acids, methylcobalamin B12, potassium, and CoQ10. Pick a nutrient that you can easily implement today and work your way up to the others. Putting effort today into nourishing your leg muscles will pay dividends in the long run. It is time for you to speak up. Are you currently supplementing with any of these 7 nutrients? If so, which one caught you by surprise? Is there an elderly person in your life that possesses remarkable leg strength considering their age? Leave a comment below and tell us about yourself and your thoughts. Please share them with us. Much obliged for your time.